you heard me earlier tonight say that I was going to call you out here to talk about being #1 contender. So you clearly had eyes on the fact that I was conducting business here with Jerry Lawler, but you still had to come out here to steal the spotlight. You know, that's typical, and it's also a hell of a segue to get to what I wanted to talk to you about, and it's indicative of the way things are run around here. See, because since WrestleMania up until last night at SummerSlam, I've been taking a back seat to you. I've been taking a back seat to Triple H. I've been taking a back seat to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I've been taking a back seat out of respect. But respect, John Boy, it's a two-way street. And not now, nor ever has it ever been reciprocated in kind the way it should be towards myself. I am the WWE champion. And I have been for 9 months. And I walk through airports and people say, "Hey, what's up, champ?" And then they follow it up with, "How come you weren't in the main event last night? How come you're taking a back seat to John Cena?" And I tell them, "Hey, man, every match I'm in is the main event. Cena can go on last because I respect him, and it's out of respect I let you go on last." But taking a back seat no longer makes any sense, especially when you consider the fact that you're the guy that I beat almost a year ago, over a year ago at Money in the Bank for this title. You're the guy I beat last year at SummerSlam, and I know these people here tonight just can't respect the fact that I have to take a back seat to the guy I beat last night at SummerSlam. You know, last year I had to hold this company up to get the respect I deserve. And I've been given back respect in kind and taken a back seat since then. So you want to know why you're the #1 contender for what belongs to me? It's because I'm going to beat you again. Because I have to beat you again. It dawns on me what I have to have you do, and that's the one condition. If you want what I know you want, this is what you have to do. Because all these people who would follow you off a cliff are going to do what you do, and they're going to say whatever you say, and they're going to listen. Most importantly, they're going to listen to what you have to say. The title shot is yours at Night of Champions, John Cena. All you have to do is here live on television in front of everybody, admit that I am the best in the world. Just tell the truth, John.
CM Punk, always one to speak his mind. Well, allow me to retort. CM Punk has been the WWE champion for 9 months, which means that I haven't been the WWE champion in 9 months. And it's certainly not everybody, but you're right. You look out there and you still see t-shirts, hats, signs, you hear noise, and you're asking yourself, why? Because through all the wins and losses, through all the good times and bad times, through all the ups and downs, our relationship is built off of one word, and that word is not championship. That word is the word you so desperately seek to attain: respect. You make valid points, but I am not going to let all of us down. I may be throwing away a chance at a championship, but I am not going to call you the best in the world. Because to succeed, I have to believe every night in my heart of hearts that I am the best. And that is not for acceptance. That is not out of arrogance. That is not cockiness. It is because I believe in them. I want them to believe in me. I spent 1 full calendar year telling everybody who would listen that I would beat The Rock at WrestleMania. There was not 1 second in that match I thought that I would lose, and if I get another shot, I know I will say that I can beat him again. Because if the day comes where you don't believe in yourself, there's the door. Get the hell out. 9 months. Congratulations. I once held that gold for 380 days straight. And in that time, never once did I run down the ramp, slide into the ring, and demand anything from anyone in or outside of these ropes. You've been the WWE champion 9 months, and you're right. You are firmly in the back seat. You've been the WWE champion 274 days, and all anyone remembers about you is the night you blew a kiss to Vince McMahon and left town. And now You're going to demand that I sacrifice the integrity that I've worked 10 years to build just to justify that? No, I am not here to stroke your ego. I am here to offer you vindication. I say, prove it. You can choose the number one contender. I didn't say you're the best in the world, so choose anybody you want. If it's not me, I can live with that. I am confident in my ability that I will get another shot at the WWE Championship. So don't choose me and see what happens. But there is one moment, one match that can define the one word you are searching for. Night of Champions is in my house, my hometown. If you walk in the Night of Champions, the WWE Champion, against me, and somehow leave the WWE Champion, well, CM Punk, that is the moment that will define your existence. No. I'm not saying I don't think you can do it, and there is a mutual respect between us. So right now, the choice is yours. Choose anybody. I don't care. But don't come out here and demand respect from these people, because if you don't choose me for the biggest match on the main stage in the main event of Night of Champions, quite frankly, Jack, you got no respect for that and no respect for you.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
The Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey, holy yeah.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Really? Yeah!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry back here with you after being off for a week, being north of the border. Had a great time on vacation and a lot of stuff, obviously, to get into. Of course, SummerSlam this past Sunday. I've got all the results of that, as you heard from the opening clip. CM Punk retaining the WWE Championship and bit of controversy in the match. There was a double submission that led to the match being restarted. Punk, however, opting to name his number one contender for the upcoming Night of Champions pay-per-view. He hasn't done so yet. He was going to name John Cena as the number one contender, provided one stipulation that he declare Punk the best in the world, and that didn't exactly go out as planned, as you had heard from the clip there. And of course, Jerry Lawler was involved as well. We'll have all that to talk about. Talk a little bit about the vacation if you want. I'll get your feedback, your thoughts on the two interviews that I had last week with the Nasty Boys and Lex Luger. Didn't get much of a chance to get your thoughts on it, whether you liked it, didn't like it, or whatever. I mean, I went through the Facebook feedback and it was kind of all over the place. Lots of different thoughts there. Also, wanting to know your favorite Canadian wrestler in honor of me, of course, going up north to Canada. And there are certainly a lot of different options, and we'll go over a few of them. I know there are some fairly obvious ones, but there might be some kind of sleepers in there. I know there was one I believe John from the Northeast threw out there. But lots of stuff to get into. Of course, Impact. We're now about a week and a half removed from Hardcore Justice. We're making our way up, of course, to the No Surrender pay-per-view coming up in a couple of weeks. No matches announced yet. I'd like to think they'll get it together because, the pay-per-view is 2 weeks from tomorrow. But this is TNA. Stranger things have happened. Also, lots of different bits of news. Of course, Chris Jericho now out of the WWE after losing on Raw this past Monday in a match. It was a contract match, was essentially the name of it. A rematch from the pay-per-view between Jericho and Dolph Ziggler. If Ziggler lost, then Chris Jericho would get the Money in the Bank briefcase and contract inside of it. And if Jericho lost, his contract would automatically expire, terminate, however you want to look at it. And that's pretty much what people expected would happen, since Jericho's now on to do some other things, most notably the Uproar Festival to front the band that he's led for the last decade plus, Fozzy. So he'll be doing that for the next couple of months, and they have dates booked after that tour, and we might see Jericho somewhere down the road. But given Jericho's quote on Twitter regarding his departure, thanks to all my Jerichoholics for an amazing 9 months. I have the best fans, and I promise you haven't seen the last of Y2J. See you on tour, and congrats to Dolph Ziggler for finally winning the big one. Based on those comments, it gives the impression more of when as opposed to if he'll be back in the WWE. But for now, Chris Jericho, he's off to do some rock music things. Another person who, he won't necessarily be doing rock music, but he's not with WWE. Tyler Rex got his release from WWE. The news came in Wednesday, and WWE gave the official Future Endeavors announcement on Thursday. Rex noting on his Twitter page that he asked for his release so he could spend more time with his family, and just having come from seeing my family north of the border, I can certainly appreciate that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to Doug, who's been hanging on the phones here. Doug, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Yeah, I'm just going to get right down to it. Welcome back to the United States, and I have to say, use accent about Canadian wrestling, and I have to say, Greg the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, Bret Hart, certainly. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, so you can't go wrong in that choice. I mean, I know when I was 13 or 14, I had the pink sunglasses. I had to wear them over my regular glasses because, I couldn't exactly get that to work. But I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll see if I can track them down now that I don't have to wear them over top of glasses. But no, yeah. Bret Hart, yeah. I mean, multiple-time heavyweight champion, intercontinental champion, tag team champion. I mean, his accolades go on and on. And obviously, a few years ago, being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Bret Hart, certainly a lot of people's favorite Canadian wrestler.
I'm going to get this right out here. There was if anybody can actually answer this question, if they can, this is regard to the TNN deal with Aces and Ace. The mask came off during this consultation in the beginning of it. And I recognize the guy, but I just don't know his name. And they pulled the mask off. He was bloody, but I recognize him. I don't know the name. And
you mean the confrontation in the beginning of Impact this past Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got the right segment of the show, because I know that a couple of masks went flying over the course of Impact this past Thursday. So I just wanted to make sure that I got it right there. And trying to think off the top of my head, I had it somewhere in my notes here, but I guess I didn't translate them over to the typing. But I can get that up for you in just a minute, because somebody did actually note that they recognized who it was, and I'll have that name for you coming up in just a second, Doug.
And another thing, too, is WWE setting it up to where John Cena retains the title and goes on and takes on The Rock at the main WrestleMania, or even one of the other big ones?
I'm not sure I quite understand the question.
Okay, is John Cena and CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Is it set up for John Cena to win the title and then go on and take on The Rock?
Well, they've certainly set up a number of different possible directions. Considering that on Raw 1000, Punk attacked Rock, you certainly have the potential for Punk to go on, retain the title all the way up until the Royal Rumble. And from there, you have a number of possibilities. Cena could win the Rumble, and you could have a Cena-Rock rematch for WrestleMania. Punk could go on to retain. You could have Cena-Punk as a possibility. Punk, by this point, could lose the title, go on to win the Rumble. The Rock could win the WWE title, and you could have a Punk-Rock match at WrestleMania. So, I mean, it's not necessarily set up for Cena to win it, but I mean, they've opened the doors to a number of different possibilities by having CM Punk involved. So it's not just the Rock and John Cena possibility that everybody seems to be figuring that it's going to be.
Yeah, And like I said, now it kind of rules out a lot of stuff now. Because there was speculation that it was Hulk Hogan. There was speculation that it was James Storm. Now we know it's not. I mean, that's pretty damn cool. I'm not convinced that it's not. Kevin Nash.
Well, Nash is certainly he's thrown himself around, especially in interviews, to say the least. To answer your question from earlier, the wrestler who had his face exposed in that first segment, he obviously wasn't named on Impact, but he's known in kind of the local circuits down there as the Irish Lionheart C.J. O'Doyle.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for having me on.
No problem, Doug. Always appreciate it. Thanks so much for the call. Let's go ahead and take care of our first bit of business, and we'll come back. We'll get more of your calls. We've got Ron on the line, and we'll get to him on the other side. We can also get to the Facebook feedback. I've got tons more news and notes. Still a lot to do here, and time for your calls as well. 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149. Those are the ways to reach us here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.